So Duchess is definitely my favorite of the characters that I was able to play back in Feb when I had some hands-on time with Elden Ring Nightreign. She is a pretty intense and chaotic character to play, but she also has some of the best abilities in the game. And so today I'm going to be running you guys through everything you need to know about Duchess, as well as showcasing some gameplay from that playtest back in Feb. Now, her description is that she is essentially the thief or assassin type of hero, dealing damage quickly, but not by brute force. Rather, she's built to sort of get in and out quickly and deal her damage through a quick succession of strikes. She starts off with a dagger that I think you can also dual wield though, but I could be wrong on that. It's obviously been a few months since I played, but the dagger has a very quick attack speed, as you would expect with a dagger. However, on the flip side, she doesn't have very much in the way of defense. So although she can deal a decent amount of damage, she is a bit of a glass cannon. She deals damage really well, but she also takes damage herself pretty damn quickly. Now, her passive ability is essentially a super buffed dodge, so she can dodge way better than anyone else in the entire game. It's more of a dash actually than like a dodge roll like the rest of them do, and she can also like constantly dodge, so you can pretty much spam her dodge. Obviously you can do that with everyone, but eventually they all run out of stamina. Hers is just a lot quicker, and I think it also does use a little bit less stamina, as well as if you chain together a bunch of dodges, also depending on the direction that you're dodging, it can result in some really cool animations too. She does like backflips and stuff like that, so that is sort of her form of defense. She obviously doesn't have like the ability to have a shield and stuff, at least at the start. You can pick up shields and use them, they just aren't really suited to her playstyle. But due to that lack of defense, the dodge, or her dashes I guess, is where her defense comes in. Now, her regular ability is called Restage, and in my opinion this is so clearly the best ability in the entire game. Not just in terms of the regular abilities, this is better than most of the ultimate abilities in this game. It is absolutely insane. It is pretty much good enough to be her ultimate ability, but it's not even her ultimate, which is crazy. Restage allows her to essentially re-deal the last about 1.5 seconds, I believe. It's either 1 second or 1.5 seconds of damage that you and your teammates did to an enemy. So as an example, if someone staggers a boss to the point that they like fall to the ground, and then you can hit them with a critical, which we all know deals crazy amounts of damage. Sometimes it can take like a quarter of their health bar. If someone does that and then you use this ability right away, it will essentially just do another critical hit right after that, therefore doubling the amount of damage that you did. So this thing is absolutely insane. I had some matches where we literally just deleted bosses because this ability is so damn good, and there was one game I believe we even had 2 Duchess players, and me and that guy were just kind of spamming this thing on those bosses, and they were going down so damn quick. So like I said, this is, at least as of right now, I think they actually may probably nerf this when the actual game comes out, but as of right now, from what I've played, this is without a question of a doubt the best ability in the game. Like I said, it is good enough to be the best ultimate in the whole game, and it's not even an ultimate ability. As for her actual ultimate ability, this one is also really good. It's probably not quite as good as her regular ability, but it's still very good. This one makes her and her allies invisible for a short time. You don't really see it on your screen so much, but the enemies just won't know where you are. They will essentially just lose aggro. They can still damage you if you're in their area of effect. So if they're like about to do a swing and you pop this, and then they, you know, slam the ground or something, you can still be damaged, but they just won't really know where you are. And this thing does last quite some time as well. So this ability is also really good. Like I said, you will just lose aggro from those enemies, which is really good if you're in a boss fight and you're all kind of scrambling, you're all nearly dead. If you pop this, it's a really good way to sort of back off a little bit, heal up, maybe regroup with your teammates and revive a teammate or whatever before that ability ends, and you will become visible to your enemies again. Now, before we go any further, if you guys are interested in more Elden Ring Nightreign content and you are new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button. There is plenty more content on the way, both in the lead up to launch and plenty of guide content after launch too, so make sure you don't miss out. Now, here you can see a graphic from the Elden Ring wiki that shows her progression as you level up throughout each game. Obviously, red equals HP, blue equals FP, and green equals stamina. Now, she has a much lower health pool than both Wilder and Guardian, which is to be expected. She does have a little bit more health though than Recluse. And she also has some pretty decent FP as well, so you can spellcast with her if you do find the right items. I believe her dagger even has an Art of War on it as well, so obviously you are going to be using FP, and so it is handy that she has a decent FP pool compared to the rest of the characters. Now for me, I found her to easily be the most enjoyable character, at least for my own playstyle. She is a real sort of like ninja type of character, in and out, dealing quick damage and not really relying on a block. Rather, you're just spamming your dodge to avoid damage. So for any of you who maybe aren't a big fan of trying to parry and stuff like that, she's probably going to be a really fun character for you to play as. She is obviously, like I said, a glass cannon, so if you're not adept at trying to dodge damage and stuff like that, timing your dodges and all of that stuff, then she might be a little bit hard to get the hang of because she does take damage very quickly. But if you're good at avoiding damage, then she is really good. And even though she's a glass cannon, that definitely does not make her weak. She is overall a really, really good character to use. That's mostly just all talking about her playstyle in general, but on top of that too, like I said, her abilities are insane and they make her even better. To reiterate again, that restage ability, I actually cannot stress how absolutely insane this thing is. It's probably the most OP ability that I've really seen in most games in the last few years. The ability to just like hit a critical hit and then just do it again is absolutely insane, and you can use it pretty quickly as well because, like I said, it's not her ultimate, so it doesn't take quite as long to charge. And like I said, if you run 2 Duchess players in your team, you can both do this. So technically speaking, you could land 1 critical and you could just do it 2 more times after that. If that critical was to deal a third of the amount of damage to the boss's health bar, you can essentially like one hit kill the boss. It's absolutely insane. And like I said, I do think it'll probably be nerfed at some point if it isn't already nerfed when the game actually launches. Overall, I would say she's a character that is much better suited to Elden Ring experienced players. So if you are completely new, you haven't played the base game and this is going to be your first experience with the game, she might be a little bit of a struggle at the start just because she is a bit of a glass cannon, like I said. But I think she is still pretty easy to pick up. It's probably just going to take you a little bit longer than it would with characters like Wilder or Guardian because they have bigger health pools, so they are just a little bit more forgiving. But the thing with Duchess over those two is that yes, they're probably a bit easier to pick up, but her upside, her ceiling is definitely higher than theirs. And I definitely can see her becoming one of the most played characters in the game, not only just for her playstyle, but like I said, if they don't nerf that restage ability, I can see a lot of people just running 3 Duchess players and absolutely deleting bosses. But that is pretty much it for everything you need to know about Duchess in Elden Ring Nightreign, guys. I'm keen to hear all of your thoughts on her down below, so be sure to leave a comment. But with that being said, thank you all very much for watching. You guys have a great day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.